Well, folks, I want to show you quickly how to use the Runge-Kutta fourth order spreadsheet that I've uploaded. So we find that here I am on our course homepage. If we go in our homework sets, we'll see I've uploaded a spreadsheet. This isn't mine, and when I get a chance, I'll attribute it to the fellow that made it. But let's go ahead and download that spreadsheet now, or open the link, I guess, first. This is when you click on the link, it's going to open it in Dropbox. And I don't recommend trying to work it in Dropbox. Instead, I'll come over here to the option to direct download, and this is going to download this Excel file. So I'm going to go ahead and open it, and if you don't have Excel, you'll want to get to a school computer that does. And you'll notice a couple things. First of all, you'll need to, it's in a protected view, you'll need to click Enable Editing. That'll be the first warning. And then the second thing is this has what are called macros, and so you're going to go ahead and click Enable Content. Let me explain that really quickly. The Runge-Kutta is actually very difficult to program into Excel because once you change the differential equation, it drastically changes what you would type as a formula. So what we'd like to do is define functions here. You can see that the author of this has defined just a function f that he references throughout the file. So that's great, but Excel isn't powerful enough to just handle a function like that, so we need to use a macro. So what you want to do is you'll want to click on your Developer tab. Well, if you're like me, you're looking up here and you're not seeing a Developer tab, so I'm going to click on File and Options, and I'm going to go under Customize Ribbon, and I'm going to see that, oh look, there's the Developer tab, and by default it hasn't been checked, so I'm going to check it. OK. Now you can see up here I have the Developer tab. So I'll click on the Developer tab, and I'll come over here and select macros. So as we saw in this sheet, the author has defined the macro f. So I'll type f, and notice that rather than giving you the option to create it, because it's already been created, we have the option to edit it. So we click Edit. So you can see here that the function that that's currently listed in here is the sine function. I'm going to go ahead and clear that out, and let's enter in the function that we used in class today, which was the function -2 times x times y plus x. In class we used t comma y, but this is already geared up for x, so I'm just leaving it at that. So this is the function that we used today in class. Notice I do need asterisks. Instead, I can't just stack x and y together. I do need to tell it times in between there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on File, Close, and Return to Microsoft Excel. So now this function, as soon as I enter in the initial conditions, will refer to the function that we talked about. So let's see here. In class we used the initial condition at t0, so I'll put a 0 in for time there. At t0, and with a initial y value of -1, and then we went ahead and had a step size in class. We used 0.2, so I enter that step size of 0.2, and notice, remember in class we calculated, so let's see here, this is our y0 value, so this is our y1 value. We calculated this one by hand, and then I gave you this one here. And notice now we could go ahead and modify this to a far more accurate step size of, say, 0.01. And then if we wanted to, we could go all the way down to, if we're doing 0.01 and we want to go out to 0.4, we'd have to go 40 step sizes, and that gives us a very accurate approximation of what's going on. Actually, we'd have to go to the 39th one, and that because this refers to the next value, and that gives us a very, very accurate, in fact this is accurate to the nearest 100,000th place solution to what y of 0.4 would be. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, I know this can be a little frustrating, so feel free to come by and see me and we can work through it. Thank you very much.